a lot of people say, oh, well, you can go out here and make $1 million in 6 weeks. Maybe someone can. Maybe someone can. But what about just making what you make right now, but just being happy making it? Wouldn't that be successful as well? All right. I mean, everyone's not going to be an entrepreneur. Everyone's not going to start a business. Everyone's not going to go out here and be a millionaire. Okay. But if you can just be happy, you can just be content and pleased in what you earn now, wouldn't that make your life so much better?
Had a vision, they made a plan. Put it into practice with the actions of my hands. Put it into practice with my circle and my fam. Had my bad before I became a businessman. This is the illest rhyme I ever wrote. Said I was born to be dope. Come on. This is the illest rhyme I ever wrote. Said I was born to be dope.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Born to Be Dope. I am your host and creator, Ryan C. Greene, in the studio today alone. We've had a couple of shows that we launched with, and I wanted to just take this time. I think I might do this once a month where I just come and do a show by myself to make sure that, I get some time to share some things that I want to share with you all as viewers, as listeners. As we go, I'm going to bring you all the dope guests, but also want to be able to share time to kind of, pour into you as well. So if this is your first time, I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank you for watching Born to Be Dope. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, all those things. All those things are like social capital, right? So, don't just watch it and enjoy it. When you like something, that's like donating. When you share it, that's like donating. When you leave a comment, that's the kind of stuff that helps things blow up. Like all those social media things that you see filling your feed for people you don't even know. Like, how did this get here? Because somebody liked it, and then the feed said, okay, well, we're going to show it to someone else. And that person liked it, and that person shared it. That's how it happened. Not because they were so special. When we talk about organic growth, you are the engine to that organic growth. So I say it every week, and I say it because I need it. I appreciate you, and you all have the power to make anything blow up that you want just by taking those quick actions. So thank you as we jump into Born to Be Dope. So I wanted to just kind of reset before, early on in this series to kind of give you a background on how we got here, how Born to Be Dope even came to be about. Who's Ryan C. Greene? What is this whole branding thing about? Some of you may have been following me for the years I've been doing this thing. Some of you may be brand new to me, and that's cool. A little bit about myself, though. Background is in media, really. I've been doing. Started as an author, so I've been doing an published author and published other books as well. So I had a publishing company. Started that in 2004. Wrote my first book, released in 2005. So we're talking about at this point, was that 18 years now that we've been doing the publishing thing and the professional speaking. And just leadership training and coaching. But all the time it was about media. It was about media. My goal was media. So I had a media company. When I started publishing books, I didn't just write a book and put it out. I started a publishing company. And I didn't just start a publishing company. I started a media company, right? My first love was always in music. So I started as a songwriter, really, even before I got into the books. Like, I was writing songs when I was in college. I thought I was going to be the next Boys to Men. Okay, I went to college with the Hampton University, started a singing group, and I knew we were going to be the next Boys to Men. Spoiler alert, didn't happen. So had to give up on that music dream, but I was a songwriter. So I started songwriting and started my first publishing company through ASCAP as a songwriter. But I always knew media was the thing, right? So I know a lot of people follow me. They might be looking like, Ryan, you were doing this. Ryan, then you did that. Now you're doing this. But it's always been part of the plan, right? It's always been part of the master plan. It's just that, you were able to have an inside scoop at watching this build, right? As opposed to waiting until it was here and built and then watching the documentary on it. So I say all that to say that, and the reason I share that with you is because that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about the remix, okay? And again, this show, Born to Be Dope, is all about being unapologetically great at being you. We bring in personal development and hip hop. Shout out to 50 years of hip hop. So we're talking one thing in hip hop we know that made hip hop blow is the remix, right? The remix. I know when you think about the remix, who's the first name you think about? Probably, if you didn't say Diddy or Puff Daddy or Sean Combs, I don't know about how hip hop you might be. I mean, a whole bunch of people did remixes, but he was like the one, like, this is the remix, right? So when you think about the remix, it's synonymous with hip hop, because whenever you wanted something that was fresh, you want to make it doper, you did a remix. Now back in our day, right, a remix meant you might have the same lyrics, but the beat would change, or the whole song would change. You might add somebody that went to the song. I know nowadays a remix it's the same exact song, and somebody just did a different person did the second verse. I know it's not as cool as it was back in our day, but listen, you understand what a remix is, right? And that's what Born to Be Dope, when it really gets to it. You're talking about really being unapologetically great at being you. There's a point where in our mind, in your mind, you have to shift and remix some things that you've been taught. Remix some things that you thought were norms. Remix some things that you thought were how things were supposed to be. Because I know what I found, and really is beginning of the pandemic, when people were kind of slowing down and people realized, okay, wait, all this stuff I've been working on, all this stuff I've been building all my life, all these titles I've been trying to get, all this money I've been trying to earn, all these things I've been trying to achieve. Once the world shut down and stopped, a lot of people were left to sit there and look at their stuff, look at their things, or lose their stuff and lose their things and realize none of it really mattered. None of it gave you the happiness. None of it gave you the fulfillment. None of it gave you the purpose you were looking for, right? Or you tried so hard and realized you reached a certain level and you just weren't happy. It just didn't do what you wanted it to do. You might have had some money, you might have had some new friends, but it just didn't fulfill you. And I know a lot of people who find themselves in that situation. And for me, when I found myself in that situation, even having success as an author, having success as a speaker, having success as a trainer, there was a missing piece when I said, listen, there's more to this. I feel like I'm having moderate success, but I can't really break through all the way because, and here's the thing, like I used to have that because there used to be always some other reason. They're not doing this, or they won't give me this, or I can't get that. Ultimately, what it really boiled down to was because I wasn't living my authentic self, right? I wasn't being unapologetically me. See, as a speaker, I was trying to fit into a mold on what everyone was telling me speakers should look like. I was trying to present a certain way. I was trying to look a certain way. But then I realized that hip hop, the most powerful, influential culture, phenomenon of all time, if you ask me. Hip hop was built on just being unapologetically you. Is the rawness. It was on being just truth, was being real. We all say keeping it real, right? And I had to ask myself, was I keeping it real? Was I being authentically me? As an author, I know maybe you can relate to this. You're an author, a black author or an author of color. The first thing, the biggest question you have to ask yourself when you're putting out your book is, do I put my black face on the cover of my book? And that was me. Like I was always asking myself, do I present myself 100% me, or do I hide certain parts in order to appeal to the mass market? And here's the thing I learned over years is like, you know what? You can keep trying to shift. You can keep trying to fit in to certain markets and to certain people to make certain people happy. But they're always you're never going to fully get in. Mainly because two reasons. One, because it's not where you're supposed to be. That's not you. But two, people can see through that, right? They can see when you're not. They know there's something else in you. So for me, I made the decision that, you know what, I'm going to be me. I'm going to present myself unapologetically how I present myself. And whoever gravitates towards that is who's going to gravitate towards. That's who it's for, right? I think so often we get so caught up on trying to appeal to millions of people. How do I get in front of millions of people when it only takes, a few hundred, a few thousand to really secure your legacy, really secure your future and what it is you want to do. So when you can say, listen, I don't need the millions, I just need the people, I need the real ones, right? So that's where it really became a mission for me to really become just great at being me. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to stop trying to fit in. I'm going to stop trying to do what I see other people doing, and I'm just going to do me. And however the chips may fall, at least I know I'm going to be happy, content, and did it my way, right? So that's really how Born to Be Dope really came about. They talk about being unapologetically great at being you. But here's the thing, right? So you may be listening, you may be watching and say, okay, that sounds good, Ryan. That's what I want to do. I need to be dope. I need to be me. But everybody looks at me as this. Everybody knows me as this. Everybody, I built my life as such and such. How do I switch? That's what the remix is all about, right? And that's what this is all about. That's what I'm going to talk to you today about. Real quick, 3 points I want to talk about the remix, because the remix, we're putting together a huge event. The remix getaway, the remix retreat, the remix weekend. I don't know what we're going to call it. We're going to call it something like that, right? But it's going to be the remix, and it's only for a few people. But I want to share with you before we get to that. what it is. But before I even jump into that, so I got my notes, right? Got my notes. My branded, y'all see that? My branded want to be dope car, like real. I'm like a real host, right? Got my notes. So, it's nobody here, it's just me. Sorry. But first and foremost, let's connect, right? So if you're watching and you say, you know what, this sounds good, you know, get into it. I want you to connect with it. I want you to join our cipher. So I want you to go to Born to Be Dope cipher.com, and cipher, for those who may not know, is CYPHER. That's our Facebook group. Go to Born to Be Dope cipher. You can join our Facebook group. In the Facebook group, we have all kinds of bonuses. We have live videos. We have live shows. We have extra shows that we do that we're going to start doing in the Facebook group. We have content that's going in the Facebook group. We have a whole network of people dope just like you who are like-minded in the Facebook group. So it doesn't cost you anything. Go ahead, join the Facebook group, get on the inside circle at borntobedopecipher.com. And then, if you watch the show at Born to Be Dope Show, you can select which podcast streamer you want to listen to it on, or you can watch the show on YouTube. And again, just ask that you just tell somebody about it, share it, like it, subscribe, do those things. So let's really get in a quick thing. Again, I'm not going to be long today at all, but I want to talk about when we talk about remixing, because when we talk about remixing, especially if you are over 40, maybe even over 35, something like that, you people will look at you and they think of you as something, right? Whatever it may be, good, bad, or ugly, everyone has in their mind who you are. And now we're talking about, we want to switch that up, because now we're realizing that one, we want to live life on our terms. We want to live life that fulfills us. We want to live life that has more impact, and we want to be unapologetically great at being us. So being great at being us, and being authentically us, means we might have to change some things that we do. Might have to change some people that we hang with. We might just have to do some things a little differently, right? So talk about the remix. Before we even get to the remix, we're looking at the foundation of what our goals are, right? So Born to Be Dope, our goals are to help you master, magnify, and monetize your unique dopeness for maximum success in business and life, right? So whatever it is that you want to do, we want to help you master it. So we're talking about your messaging. How do you master your message? How do you become an expert at something so that you can go out there and share with the world? And once you become that expert, once you've mastered it, once you are known for that thing, because that's the thing where a lot of people get stuck in that master part. A lot of you might have something mastered right now, but you're like, listen, that was cool for the last 15 years, but I want to do something else, right? So we're going to show you how to master your message and how to take what you've already learned, adapt it into what you want to learn, who you want to become, how to master that messaging so that when you go to the marketplace, when you go to the public, you don't look like you're all over the place, right? You don't look like you're, because if you look confused, if you are always changing, then people are going to be confused. And now they're going to be like, hold on, what are you doing now? Or how can you really serve me? What is it that you do? And I know this because I've lived this, okay? I've been this. That's been my biggest issue, and I'm being transparent with you in business, is that when you're multi-talented, when you have a big goal, like I told you, but this media company was always the plan, but it's hard to say, okay, I'm gonna do this and this and this and this, and people looking at you kind of like, well, how are you doing all this? It's just you, right? So number one is mastering that message. And then once you master it, we're going to help you magnify. See, we're in an economy, I told you earlier, where social media algorithms, we write those algorithms by our actions, right? So if you are trying to magnify yourself now, we understand that's important. You've got to be able to be seen. Again, it doesn't take millions, but you've got to be able to be in front of thousands in order to get those hundreds that are going to buy into you and to really attach themselves to your mission and your brand. So how do you magnify that? And that's what we do with Born to Be Dope as well, is we magnify. We take what you know and we help build you up. I use visual media for what I do. So whether it be doing a video podcast, doing a film, doing course content, doing social media content, that's the avenue I choose to help people with. So you want to help maximize, magnify rather your brand, and that's the visibility. Let's get the word out there. Let people know you exist, because you can be here's the. You no longer want to be the best kept secret, okay? You want people screaming out loud about who you are, what you do. Stop being the best kept secret. So we can show you how to magnify yourself and then monetize. That's the final thing, because we want to control our future, our destiny, our purpose. And the only way we can do that is by having financial security, by having financial wealth. I'm not out here being a wealth teacher. I'm not out here promising you can go out there and make $1 million. That's not what I do. What I promise is that if you can find something that you love to do and money is out of the way in your life, and you can make money being happy, making money, That's success. See, whatever you make at your job right now is enough for you because you have agreed to give your 40, 50, 60 hours a week of your life for that. So whether you think you deserve more, we all want to get paid more. You've agreed that whatever you're getting paid right now is all you're worth right now. Okay. No shade, no diss. I don't want that to sound negatively. That's what an employment agreement is. You agree my 40 hours a week is worth this. Even if you want more, that's what you agreed. That's what you said. I'm going to take this. So we've got to, if you could get that same amount of money, but doing something else that you love doing, how does that sound? See, a lot of people say, oh, well, you can go out here and make $1 million in 6 weeks. Maybe someone can. Maybe someone can. But what about just making what you make right now, but just being happy making it? Wouldn't that be successful as well? All right. I mean, everyone's not going to be an entrepreneur. Everyone's not going to start a business. Everyone's not going to go out here and be a millionaire. Okay. But if you could just be happy, you could just be content and pleased in what, you earn now, wouldn't that make your life so much better? Hey, this is Ryan C. Greene. Thanks for tuning in and listening to this week's show. Hopefully you're enjoying it so far. Listen, I want to help you keep the conversation going and giving you the opportunity to join our Born to Be Dope Cypher, our exclusive Facebook group. Go to www.borntobedope.com. At the very top, you'll see a button that says join the Facebook group. Do click that button, go ahead, enter your information, and you'll get access to our free online Facebook group. In that group, we have so many bonuses. So we keep the conversations going from the shows. We have our live shows that broadcast there. So many people to network with. And every week we raffle all free Born to Be Dope gear for all the new members who joined that week. So go ahead to www.borntobedope.com, click the button, join the exclusive Facebook group so we can have more interaction, keep the conversation going, and you might just even win a free Born to Be Dope shirt. Hey, did you know that Born to Be Dope is more than just a show? That's right. Born to Be Dope is a movement. It's so many things outside of just the show. We have the clothing line. We have the show. We have the book that's coming. But we also have the feature film and the live summit. So if you're a speaker, an expert, an author, you have a message that can help people master, magnify, and monetize their unique dopeness. If you have a message that will resonate with people on how to be unapologetically great at being them, and you want to share the stage with some of the top influencers and speakers at our live summit that's going to broadcast to millions of homes, then go to www.borntobedope.com. Look for the info on how to join the next summit, our next casting call. Casting calls are going on right now for our next one. You don't want to miss it. Listen, if you've already been a part of one, you can still join us for another one. If you missed out, you thought, I'm going to wait to see what this Born to Be Dope thing is all about, now you realize you want to jump on board. Listen, there's still time. Just go to borntobedope.com, click the button on how to join, get the information on our casting call. We look forward to working with you and helping you share your story. Hey, are you looking for dope t-shirts? Specifically Born to Be Dope t-shirts? Listen, go to www.weardopetees.com. You can see our entire line for the Born to Be Dope apparel. We have t-shirts, we have sweatshirts. We're designing new stuff that's coming soon. So go to weardopetees.com. You can rep the brand that reps you. Get your shirts, get your hoodies, buy one for a friend. Go now to the website. You can see all the new gear that we have and go ahead and rep the brand that reps you. Go ahead and order your shirts, order your t-shirts, and then make sure when you wear it, you tag I am Born to Be Dope on any social media so we can go ahead and recognize you. So go and get your shirts, go get your gear at weardopetees.com. USA Today did a poll, the last poll, 78% of employees are disgruntled or hate their jobs. That means 7 out of 78 is almost 8 out of 10 employees are working jobs they hate. And you wonder why there's so much road rage in the mornings, right? Because people are in traffic going to somewhere they don't want to go. So Born to Be Dope is an opportunity to help you get out of that, help you, move past that and really take control of your life and your peace and your happiness. So that's it. Master, magnify, and monetize. Those are the 3 tenets. That's what we do. So now you're like, okay, Ryan, well, that sounds good. How do I get into that? How do I now shift those things? I'm so glad you asked. That's where the remix comes in. I'm talking about these 3 things that we focus on. We talk about the remix, okay? Remix, number 1 is the first part of remixing your life, right? Remixing, it's like, we're remix. You're not getting rid of what you've done. You're building upon it, right? Like the remix is going to build upon what you have. You built your foundation, and now we want to build upon that and start to kind of tweak that thing, make it better, make it more marketable, make it more valuable, right? So the first thing you want to do is 1, reignite your fire. Reignite your fire. There's something that lights you up. There's something that gets you excited. There's something that you love to do. There's something that you're passionate about. I wrote a book called Becoming a Passionpreneur, and it's all about getting paid to do what you love, getting paid for what you know, not for what you do, right? So there's a fire that when you see super successful people, when you see people that you probably look at on social media and envy their lives, a lot of them, they've got that fire. That's what's driving them. They found their fire. They found their passion. They found a thing that excites them, and they go after it every single day. And you sit there scrolling, looking at them like, must be nice. Oh, wow, look at them. Oh, which island they on this time? Oh, that's so cool. Now, you can have it too. But you got to reignite your fire. See, the only way that you can go out there and have massive success is to go out there. You got to start that flame, right? You got to start somewhere. So you got to reignite your fire. What is it that gets you excited? What is it that's your flame? What is it that you put on the back burner while you're going out there and fulfilling someone else's dream? What is it that you are saying, I'm gonna get to that when I'm older, not knowing if you're ever going to live to be older? Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I just like to keep it real. So think about those things, right? That fire, what is it that excites you? For me, the fire never changed. I always had, there was obstacles in life that came along that kind of pushed me away, got me closer to the fire, further away from the fire, but the fire was always there. You know, and there was a time in my life when I went through my I went through my divorce, and I quit. Like, that fire had died for like 4 years. I just stopped. I said, you know what? I'm not doing anything. I'm not trying to help anybody else. I'm not trying to build a business. I'm just trying to go out there and be, a regular old person, right? That fire had died. But purpose has a funny way of purpose is like a crazy ex, right? Purpose is always going to follow you. Purpose is going to chase you down. And that was purpose. I was running from purpose, doing my thing. I wasn't happy, but I was not getting hurt, right? Because I just giving up on certain things. But purpose would be like, boom, 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 boom. Hey, you done running yet? Ooh, you over there? Oh, you coming back yet? Purpose won't let you run forever. So eventually, I said, okay, purpose, how are you? Good to see you again. I'm back, right? So I had to reignite that fire to find what was it that's going to excite me. So what is it that's exciting you? That's going to excite you, right? What have you put off? What have you delayed? What have you said no to one too many times? And now you're looking at your life like, golly, how much time do I have left to even go after this? When are you going to make yourself a priority? I speak specifically to the ladies. I'm like, one thing I hate to see is that, the ladies who are specifically mothers, who once you become a mom, you feel like you're supposed to just give up everything that matters to you for the next 18 to 24 years. Like, no, men get away with men don't do that. You shouldn't either. Like, the kids will survive. They'll be fine. Or maybe not. I think it might be a little too far. But listen, you can't let the cloak of motherhood dictate your entire next 20, 24, 5 years while your kids grow up. And then you look up, 40, 50 years old trying to figure this thing out, and you didn't sacrifice everything for some kids that don't even make up their bed. So that wasn't in my notes. I didn't mean to even go in there. My point, I just want to stress, get out there, reignite your fire. There's something you're excited about. There's something that you're passionate about that does not involve taking care of other people like children or a spouse, right? What is it that's just for you that's going to get you excited? And we're going to reignite that fire. And when we reignite that fire, that's when we start to look at how we can now take that fire, take that thing that you're passionate about. How can we help you master, magnify yourself as the expert in that, and then monetize that, okay? So that's number one, reignite that fire. Number two is reimagine your future. Reimagine your future. One of the worst things I see happen to people is that they stop dreaming. And when you stop dreaming, when you stop having hope, I was just listening to something, I think it was T.D. Jakes, as a matter of fact. I was just watching T.D. Jakes' sermon. I think he was talking about the reason one of the reasons people commit suicide is because they've lost all hope for their future, right? Like, the past has already happened, the present is where they are, but you end your life because you have no hope for the future. So you think it can't get better, like you're going to be stuck here. So, before anything gets to that point, my hope and my goal in life is to help you understand that your future doesn't have to be what your past has been, right? As long as you're still here, as long as you're waking up every day, you have an opportunity to decide, I'm going to, change my future. I'm going to take control over where my future is. There's a saying that you are, what is that? where you are today is the result of actions you made 5 years ago, or something like that, right? So you think about where you are now. If you look back 5 years ago at the decisions you made, the things you said yes and no to, the places you went, the decisions that you made, that's what got you right here. So if you want a better life 5 years from now, then you got to start making better decisions today. So you got to reimagine your future, right? Like if you've been living your whole life thinking, okay, my future, I'm going to go and work 40 years and I'm going to retire and then I'm going to do that, right? And then all of a sudden you realize at year 20, a global pandemic comes along and takes away everything. And now your future is totally different, right? So you got to reimagine your future with what it looks like when you in control, with you determining the future for yourself. So reimagine that future. Reimagine yourself being happy, not working till you're 70 and retiring and saying, "Hey, go have a good life." I was talking to somebody. It was like, I can't say names and like that. I talked to a lot of people, but someone was telling me that they knew someone who was celebrating their retirement, and they've been working. They were happy. They worked for 60 something. They worked for over 60 years. They had worked, and I'm just like, you put in all that time for someone else, and now when you're like pushing 80 years old, now you're like, okay, good, go have some fun. Now I'm gonna live my life. Come on, who fed us that bill of goods, and who told us that's what success looks like? And if that's your plan, fine. Okay, I don't want to tell people don't. I don't want to get it twisted. I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying, but if you know that's not your plan, but that's the road you're on, that you're the one I'm talking to right now, right? You're the one I'm talking to. So think about that. And then finally is relaunch your you. So we're talking about the remix. We're talking about reigniting your fire. We're talking about reimagining your future. And then we're talking about relaunching your you. See, once you do those things, once you go and figure out, okay, listen, I'm taking control of my life. I was born to be dope. I'm going to do something different now. You got to launch. And that's the scary part. See, that's the scary part, especially now in social media days, because everything you do, as soon as you hit that send button, as soon as you hit that post button, as soon as you hit that submit button, all you think about is all the people who are going to see this and what they're going to think about me when they see it. What they're going to think about me. And that can be difficult. That can be difficult to get over. But here's the thing. It may sound cliche, but those people aren't paying your bills. Those people aren't dictating your future. You put out something, and you're really and you're operating in a place where you're supposed to be operating in, and you go out there and relaunch your you. You can't be concerned about your friends and the people that you know. Now, their opinions may matter to you because you value them, but everything, the biggest thing I had to accept and work through was that my friends and family weren't my target audience. My friends and family were not my target audience. See, a lot of times we'll go and we'll start a business, no matter what your business is, and the first thing we do is we go post it and tell everybody, support my business. And then your post gets crickets, people don't go and support. And now you're on Facebook talking about all y'all friends don't want to like nobody. You don't want to support your friends' family businesses. Listen, they're not your primary client. They're not your target audience, right? So when you realize that your friends and family are just that, they're your friends and family. They'll be there to go celebrate with you, but they may not be your target audience. And people aren't just going to, with the internet and things, people are so much more educated consumers than they are. People aren't just throwing money just because you did something, just because you put out something. If I'm a vegetarian, I'm not supporting your hot dog business. I love you, but I'm not going to go and eat hot dogs because you started a hot dog business. Doesn't mean anything different on our friendship. But you got to understand the same thing. So, me being in the self-help space, being in the media space, I had a lot of high-level, high-achieving friends. So I had to realize, like, when I was putting out stuff and doing trainings, and they were kind of like, not really tuning in. I was first I was offended. Well, y'all don't think I'm smart? You don't think I can offer nothing to help? I had to realize that, these people were not my target audience. That's not who I was called to serve, and that's cool. I can go to them and learn from them. I can get some coaching from them. I can, operate with them and find out some things. But really, those weren't people I was talking to. So when I relaunched myself, I had to realize that, listen, I'm gonna put it out there, and like we said earlier, those who, as the Bible says, those who have ears to hear shall hear. Let them receive, right? And that's it. So too many of us are too afraid to get in front of the camera because people gonna talk about what we look like. People will talk about how we talk. They're gonna talk about how we dress. You know, you're afraid to do your own show. Some of you got podcasts in you right now, words and expertise and networks that will change the world and change your life for it. But you won't even go out there and get a mic and get in front of a camera to do your podcast because you're afraid people are going to judge you because you are a darn cafeteria worker. And you think they're going to judge you because of that. That's all they see you as. But we're talking about the remix, y'all. You got to go out there and not be afraid to say, I am, as our poem in Victor says, I'm the master of my fate. I'm the captain of my soul. So you got to go out there and be the master of that fate. You make the decision, all right? You make the decision on what's going to happen with your fate, what's going to happen with your soul by the way you go out there and operate. So I want to encourage you to do that. So I wanted to share that with you because that's important as we go through more shows, as we go through this season, as I bring in more guests. Keep that in your mind. How can I use this to remix my life? How can I use this expertise to put into something that I want to work on, to go after a dream, to kind of realign myself with my purpose so I can remix my life, so I can go out there and be dope by being unapologetically great at being me. Those are the kind of things that we're going to do. That's what this show is designed to do. Help you go out there and do, really live the life that you deserve by being you. Stop comparing yourself to everybody else. Get off of social media, scrolling, looking at everybody else's life, wishing you could have it. You can have it. First of all, half of them probably don't have it. They just went on one trip. They say, they probably broke going home, but they want to look like they have it. So don't worry about that. But you can have it by just going out there doing it, taking control and stop being afraid. Most of the stuff that we see that goes viral, that really blows up, most of us are sitting there like, how is that going viral? I can't believe they did that. I would never have done that. And that's why you never have it. Because we're so worried about, what people think. We've been so taught that we've got to fit into this box. But it's the ones that are like, look, I don't care what somebody thinks. I'm going to go out there and be me. Those are the ones that go out there and have success because they're breaking the norm. They're the ones that shot like, wait, what is that? I've never seen this before. Someone with this kind of freedom to do what they want to do. So when you can tap into that and really do it your way, you'll start to see that success and that contentment, that fulfillment, I should say, that you want. So listen, that's all I wanted to share with you today. This week, we'll be back next week with more guests for you. Again, make sure you go to borntobedopecipher.com so you can join the Facebook group. In the group, we do giveaways. I forgot to mention that. So each week, we go through all the new people who joined the Cipher, and we give away a Born to Be Dope shirt. So we're going to give you a bunch, but you got to join the group for the opportunity to do that. We'll be able to chime in with our live shows, audience interaction, things like that. We've got the Born to Be Dope visual mixtape coming out soon as well, but then the remix, so you'll get more information about that. I kind of want to lay it out there. Once we get some things in place, the remix will be an opportunity for those who are serious, a very small crew of people to come in. We're gonna have a lot of things. We're gonna focus on those three things. We're gonna help you reignite your fire, get yourself together so that you can imagine your future. We're gonna relaunch you. We're gonna go through the studio. We'll take you in the studio, get you photos, shoots, video content, get your stuff together to help you master, magnify, and monetize your unique dopeness. So that's coming. All right. So I think I'm done. I think that is it. I'm trying to remember. I should have had my church bulletin so I know all the announcements to make. Make sure you tell someone about the show. I think that's it. That's it. So shout out to all of you. Next week, tune back in for the next show. I want to encourage you to go out there. Please be unapologetically great at being you, because you were born to be dope. I'm Ryan C. Greene. Peace.
This is the illest rhyme I ever wrote. Said I was born to be dope. I dream big like my visions were projected on the movie screen. Beach side staring into watercolor bluish screen. Muscle with the hustle, turn my dreams into reality. I'm my ancestors' wildest dreams on the balcony. Scribbling notes into the margin of my composition. For what's next, master efforts for my ambition. I failed to step back but kept pushing. Reinventing myself, establish a better footing. Fall down 6 times.